What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new YouTube video. Now, I've never done this before, but I thought it would be an interesting thing for you to see. A day in the life. So I'm going to be walking you through what a normal day for me looks like. I am in sunny Florida for the next month. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris Feekins and I am a type 2 diabetic specialist. My area of expertise is helping ladies just like you lose weight, lower your A1C and achieve clinical remission with your type 2 diabetes in a way that is sustainable long term. No foods are out of bounds with what I coach, and I call it the carb regulation protocol. It's how you're able to eat your favorite everyday foods and still lose weight and lower your A1C, something that's actually sustainable. Right now, anyway, we're on a walk to the gym, and it's going to take about 30 minutes. We'll do a quick 45-minute session, and then we've got to head back because I've got a coaching call with a group of the ladies that I coach, where we're going to be walking through how to break bad habits, and I'll be sharing that with you too. We'll be going through some of that, so stay tuned for that. If you yourself often struggle with, potential bad habits like late night snacking or emotional eating, or whatever it may be, we'll be breaking down rather a 4-step process of doing so. All right, so I'll be speaking to you very, very soon. Not long got back from the gym. Not gonna lie, it was a strange and unusual experience. We don't have gyms like that in England. There must have been, I don't know, 250 people in there. Very busy, almost like a factory. But anywho, not long got back. We've got a coaching call now with some of the ladies that I coach, and the main topic of that is going to be 4 steps to breaking any kind of bad habit, and I'll go through those with you in just a minute. So the 4 steps that we went through, the first one is make it invisible. Remove the cues. Now, every habit starts with a trigger. If you remove the trigger, you remove the urge. So what we want to do is work on changing your environment to remove or hide the thing that cues the bad habit. So just an example would be, if you binge on chips every night, don't keep them in the house. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is, you don't have to necessarily remove them, but instead just hide them. Have them somewhere where you are not aware of them. Have them out of sight. That's the most important thing. Have them out of sight, because out of sight, out of mind. Have a family member put them somewhere. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to find them, but it reduces your likelihood of reaching for those foods if A, you don't know where they are, and B, the cue is out of sight. Okay, so an action step would be to identify your biggest habit trigger, and whilst doing that, where are you when it happens? What time is it? Who are you with? And what just happened before the habit kicks in, right? We want to change, we want to alter that cue, right? The second thing would be to make it difficult, increase friction. The harder it is to do something, the less likely you are to do it. So we want to increase obstacles between you and the bad habit. We want to increase the steps that are required in order for you to do that thing. So if you find yourself snacking on candy at night, store the candy in your garage. Right? It doesn't have to be in your garage. Store it somewhere where you are far less likely to go and get it. I've got a lady that I coach, Michelle. She found herself, eating, snacking, late at night. So we did put them in her garage, and ever since she's not reached for them. And that's not a long-term solution. The goal is to break the habit and then eventually reintroduce those foods into the house. Again, it doesn't have to be the garage. That's just an example. Put them somewhere where it is more difficult to get them. It's that simple. Increase the steps. Again, the harder it is to do it, the less likely you are to do it, right? So, cool. The next step would be to make it unattractive. Right? Write down 3 reasons why quitting this habit benefits your future self. Read them daily. What happens if you don't change, right? What's the cost of this habit? If it's reaching for food when feeling emotional, then if you continue to reach for food when feeling emotional, is that going to lead to the consistent overconsumption and therefore lack of weight loss and increase in A1C, right? And then the last one, step 4, is to make it unsatisfying. Make it unsatisfying, right? For example, choose an accountability partner, tell them your goal and set consequences if you fail. Now, my favorite 2 kind of steps here to follow would be the first 2, right? Make it invisible, remove the cue, right? Remove or hide the thing that cues the bad habit. And then the second one, which is make it difficult, right? Increase friction, make it harder to do. Most bad habits can be broken with just those 2 steps alone, right? So just something to think about. And a bit of a practical exercise, practical implementation rather, would be to pick a bad habit you want to break. 1, identify the cue and make it invisible, right? Hide it. Reframe your craving and make it unattractive. What happens if you continue to do it? Add friction to make it harder, add steps, and create a consequence to make it unsatisfying. Okay, the best thing about all of this is you don't need more willpower. We just need to rewire the habit loop. Okay, it's that simple. I just got off a one-to-one coaching call with one of the ladies that I coach, Karen. Let me show you this. This is pretty damn cool. So, Karen, when she started with us up here, she was at 176, and now she's all the way down here at 140, which is her goal weight. Now, Karen hasn't seen 140 pounds since she was 17 years old. Karen is now in her 60s and her last A1C was 5.5 and below, right? And we've achieved these things whilst still enjoying her favourite food. She's not cut anything else. She's not cut out bread, pasta, rice, or even sweets or any of those foods. Instead, we've learned how to manage them. And because it's been enjoyable, because it's felt like just a normal day, Karen's been able to sustainably lose weight and achieve clinical remission with her type 2 diabetes and get off all meds. So moral of the story is to not eliminate, don't cut out the foods that you love. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot and set yourself up for failure. I'm currently in the process of doing something that I've not done before, and I'm doing like a day in the life video. I'm walking through how I've started my day and the things that I do throughout the day, the coaching calls that I have with my ladies and the lessons that we go through. One of the things that we've been going through today is the 4 steps to breaking any bad habit, right? So when that video is uploaded onto YouTube, I'll let you ladies know. All right, but again, that's something that I've never done before. If you find it helpful, the value that I share in the videos, then obviously I'll continue to do them. I didn't show you my lunch, but what we did have was just simply a bagel with pastrami, mustard and some mozzarella, dead simple. And then dinner, if I can find a picture, I'll put that up, but just a normal beef chilli with rice, with lots of veg, bell peppers, onion, and some tomatoes in the sauce, things like that. Oh, mushrooms as well. That's a really easy way of adding volume to your meal without you actually adding many calories and carbs. And obviously volume leads to us feeling fuller for longer. I also had a second protein shake as well. So there were 40 grams in each one. So my goal is 160 to 180 grams per day. None of you should ever aim for that much, but 70 to 120 would be a really good place to start, simply because it's there's a correlation between an increase in protein and a decrease in a hunger hormone called ghrelin, which means that increase in protein keeps us feeling satiated, fuller for longer, less cravings, better controlled portion sizes, less snacking, things like that. You're going to eat less, basically. The more protein you eat, the fuller you're going to be, the less you're actually going to eat. Plus, it is insulinotropic, which means the consumption of protein leads to the release of insulin. So just like how injecting insulin reduces blood sugars, consuming protein is going to do a very similar thing. Plus, if you consume protein with carbohydrates, not only has it got that insulinotropic effect, but it also blunts the absorption of carbohydrates as well. So something to consider. Try and pair your carbohydrates with a protein, whether it's, you know, meat, fish, whether it's cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or protein shakes. We're just out getting some steps. The biggest thing to remember is there's no best type of exercise. Right? The best type of exercise is the exercise that you do. Right? So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's, you know, walking, skipping, dancing, YouTube videos, whatever. Just find something you at least tolerate. If you don't enjoy anything, just find something that you know, at least tolerate doing. That marks the end of a successful day. We spoke to a lady called Cheryl earlier. We had a clarity call. Now, on these calls, we spend 35-40 minutes doing exactly that, gaining clarity on exactly what's going on right now. You know, the foods that, you know, you're eating Monday to Friday, Saturday to Sunday, you know, habitual things like sleep, hydration, alcohol, takeout, just so that I can gain clarity on what exactly is going on and what subtle adjustments are required to get you from where you are to where you want to get to. Right now, on these calls, there's never any pressure to do anything. That's not what this is. This is an opportunity for us to sit down and discuss, again, the things that are going on right now. What my coaching operates on is an invite-only basis. There's no button that you can click to just join. And the reason why is because all of the ladies that I coach, they're protected by a guarantee that if they don't achieve their goals in our 6 months together, I coach them for free until they do. Now that's great for the ladies that I coach because it removes all risk. That's great for you because it removes all risk. But naturally, it means that I adopt the risk. So I've got to make sure that I can actually help first, right? Now, I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions about the things that we went through, you know, the 4 steps to breaking bad habits, you know exactly what to do, or any of the other bits we've gone through, just shoot me a message and I'll see you soon.